One of the things that I'm excited about is I just got 3 vinyl discs from Third Man Records. One is a Mississippi Sheiks record, another is a Blind Willie McTell record, and the third is this fabulous Charley Patton record. And on the line now to just talk about these, because it's your baby, Jack White. Hi.
Hello, hello.
These are all pretty amazing. You want to just encapsulate why these 3 and what's going on here with these releases?
Yes, I've been anxious to team up with Document Records, which was a label that put out lots of blues records, hundreds of blues and folk records over the last few decades, and they were out of Austria, and they were bought by this guy Gary Atkinson in Scotland, and he bought the entire catalog over, and they'd been putting them out in Europe. What I've been noticing since we started Third Man Records, and since I've been interested in blues music, is that all the blues classic songs are not available on vinyl at all. You had to buy the old pressings of them. All the labels like Document and Yazoo and Arhoolie, they went to CD and digital, which is all great because it makes them very easily available, but they stopped pressing them on vinyl for some reason. So we were anxious to see if Document would team up with us and let us press these on vinyl so that you could actually have these records, and also to keep them in print as long as Third Man Records is in business. I don't like records not being in print very much. So they said yes, and he has hundreds of titles, and it was just a matter of, like, all right, well, let's get started. Well, which ones do you want to start with? And yes, and Charley Patton was the first thing I said. Like, we would want to do Charley Patton first. We want to do the complete works of Charley Patton.
Why Charley Patton? What is it about Charley Patton that people often say, and you're in love with, but people say he's the man?
He is basically the great-grandfather of all American and Western music, in my opinion, that has lasted the test of time. There's a lot of music this country and this part of the world has put out, and a lot that's come from Africa and come through that system and come through the whole culture of America. But the beginnings of it, to me, are the blues, and that has splintered off into so many things that have now into country, into rockabilly, into jazz, and into rock and roll, and all kinds of popular music nowadays. So if we're talking about that, we're talking about the early days of the blues and who was generating a lot of these ideas and the chord changes that went along with it that set up the whole structure. And there's people before Charley Patton, but he was the first big name. And what makes him important is because of the people who followed him: Howlin' Wolf, John Lee Hooker, Willie Brown, Tommy Johnson, the Son House. They all followed him around and were copying what he was coming up with. And they took it. They were his disciples that took it out and spread it across the Delta and then onward and upward to Chicago and to the rest of the world.
We'll certainly play some of his music in a minute, but if you were to define, like, what's the quality that's unique about him that made people and make you so attracted to this sound?
Charley Patton is a big mystery, first of all. And part two is that most people, I would imagine, because I was like this myself, when I first heard Charley Patton, I didn't really like it. And I couldn't hear anything he was saying. It just sounded like a bunch of mumbled, marbles in his mouth, kind of badly recorded blues music. And when I first heard it, I just said, whatever, and maybe I'll get back to this some other time. But next time I listen to it, and the third time, I think, oh my God, this music is amazing. This person is unbelievable. And the filter started to come off, and I started to really realize what he was putting down and why he was probably so influential to everyone around him.
Was it in the guitar playing? Is it in the voice? Or are you going to tell me all of the above?
I think all of the above. On top of that, just him as a character, we start with him as a person, too. He was known to be a mix of black, white, and Cherokee Indian. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a great cross-section of America, first of all, just who he was as a person. And that he was able to be influential enough that all those blues singers would follow him around. You're talking about a lot of egos and a lot of ideas and a lot of free men that were not listening to any rules or anyone telling them what to do. The fact that they're following around somebody shows that his influence must have been pretty strong back then. That's just him as a character that we can imagine, but also his music alone is very, very powerful. He's doing very strange chord changes and very strange tempos and ideas are going on there. And some of these are the building blocks of popular music that we hear nowadays.
He sounded like a bit of a hot dog, too. I've read things where he could do the playing guitar behind his head sort of stuff, right?
Yeah, when Jimi Hendrix came out and was, setting his guitar on fire and playing behind his head and all that, people forget, in history that people had done some of those things. Even Jerry Lewis had set his piano on fire before that. But Charley Patton was playing guitar through his legs and behind his back in the 1930s. No diss on Hendrix, by the way.
No, I'm sure not.
Just the idea that we forget sometimes, you know.
Yeah. What do you want to play?
A good song to listen to Charley Patton is Boll Weevil.
It's such a weird name.
Yeah.
People have not heard. When I grew up, it was Brooke Benton had a pop version of this song, the Boll Weevil Blues. I think it may have even been spelled Boll.
Yeah.
W-E. There's so many different ways. W-E-V-I-L.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's an insect. Cotton was the thing, and it's what it ate, and so
yeah, it ate up cotton crops, and obviously made everybody real happy.
and Charley Patton wrote this song. This was recorded. Is this the first recording? Because I'm holding a disc in my hand, and it says the date's June 14th, 1929.
Yeah, he did. I heard it was recorded in July 29, but he had there was people who had sung Boll Weevil type songs before him, and his song. An argument can be made whether Charley Patton's Boll Weevil or Leadbelly's Boll Weevil is quote unquote more important. Mm-hmm. I don't really know. Leadbelly's version becomes the standard. It encompasses all the different aspects of what became the popular ballad of the Boll Weevil that a lot of blues singers ended up covering all the way to this day. And but Charley Patton was like the first to put it out there, the idea, and sort of bring them all together and give it a structure.
I love the way they give character to this insects. It's basically putting them out of house and home.
Yeah.
Let's play Boll Weevil Blues, Charley Patton.
There's a little boll weevil keep moving in this Lordy. You can plant your cotton and you won't get a half a thing, Lordy. Boll weevil, why'd your little hole, Lordy? Louisiana rain takes a little while, pretty bold on her. Well, I started Boll Weevil, Lord of Second, Lord of Indiana on her. The next time I see them, Lord, they had his family there on her. Boll Weevil left to take a lot of business very well on her. Where you going now? I'm going down to Mississippi, going to get a little down I had on her. Boll Weevil said it for her, they got such a foul on her. I let one suck all the blossom and leave you a happy square on her. The next time I see you, I had the family there on her. Boll Weevil, little white witch, sit down on the hill on her. Boll Weevil told his wife, let's take this for the hill on her. Boll Weevil told his wife, said, I believe I'll make a Lord on her. All I want to tell all about her, let her leave Louisiana and go to Arkansas on her. Well, I started Boll Weevil, Lord of Second, Lord of Indiana on her. Next time I see him, Lord, he had his family there on her. Boll Weevil told his father, I think I'd take you fell on her. Took all the blossom and leaves, you had to square on her. Boll Weevil, where you little hole on her. More than where the rain cotton and corn on her. Boll Weevil, for that treat me foul on her. Next time I did, you had your family there on her.
You want to remark at all on that guitar playing?
It's so strange.
Yes.
The rhythm that he's picking are so bizarre. I can't imagine some of them sitting down and trying to play them. I think that comes from not being that schooled by 15 other guitar players around you doing the exact same or doing some other things where you're that sounds more to me like someone playing from themselves or teaching themselves how to play those kind of rhythms. But it's so strange.
It sometimes sounds like he's mimicking what might be someone else kind of singing along with him or playing along.
Yeah, it's like he's mimicking his own voice too at the end of the lines.
Right.
And in his version of Bo Will, he's talking about Texas and Mississippi and Louisiana and where the bug is going, and that he has his family with him, and he's bringing his family with him. So he's setting up the ideas of what will end up being used in the Bo Weevil versions of other people, like Blind Willie McTell and Lead Belly.
Do you remember the moment for you that you got attracted and sucked into the blues?
Sunhouse brought me into the blues deeply. I had been tangentially into it through rock and roll when I was younger, and knew about different things. I liked Howlin' Wolf a lot, and I liked Robert Johnson a little bit, but it was Sunhouse who really drew me in and maybe sort of give up on most everything for a little while.
What was it about Sunhouse?
I just thought he was the truth, and that was it. And what he was saying was the truth, and had stripped away all of everything. And I was involved already in trying to break things down. And I think because of Sunhouse's songs, especially the a cappella ones, that it led me to want to do what I did with the White Stripes and break things down in a real minimalistic way, so I could get closer to the blues.
That's awesome. You think you're going to drive your truck down to Austin this year? And
I want to, yeah. We're trying to see about that.
Yeah.
We went there the last couple of years. I think I'm not going to go myself this time.
You be well.
Yeah. All right, man.
Talk soon. I appreciate it.
Okay, thanks so much.
Cheers.
All right.
Jack White, the new collection of music to Charley Patton, the Blind Willie McTell, and the Mississippi Sheiks records are coming out the 29th of this month. The song we heard was Mississippi Boll Weevil Blues. I'm Bob Boylan for NPR Music. It's all songs considered. 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 It's all